Hi, my name is Annie Fliss, and I'm the Resident Director of the Georgetown Madrid program. In this video on the Spanish academic system, I will begin to address fundamental differences between the two educational approaches. This will include remarks on the student body, how degrees are structured, the academic expectations, as well as university culture that you will encounter as a direct matriculation student. The first important difference starts with the university entrance process and the student body. Students enter college by being admitted to a specific degree program within a university. That is to say, they cannot attend a university with an undeclared major. The degree programs have a limited number of openings, so often students must choose a different degree program where there's more space available. Changing majors later on implies reapplying to a desired degree program the following year. When possible, most Spanish students prefer to commute to school rather than find a university far away from home. And finally, most students have a similar academic background since a high school curriculum is fairly uniform throughout the country. Students not only focus on their specific fields or majors during high school, but are also required to take many general education classes. Therefore, the university studies usually do not include general ed requirements, with the exception of foreign languages. Undergraduate degrees in Spain are called grados. Similar to the States, undergraduate study in Spain usually lasts about 4 years. Each grado or major consists of a plan de estudios, a sequenced curriculum where specific classes are offered in a given year. An average course load is 5 to 7 classes per semester. If there are many enrolled students in a specific major, they will be divided into groups or sections, and each one will be assigned their own specific schedule. Often these groups do not change from year to year. When looking at a plan de estudios of any given degree, you'll note that the majority of classes are considered requirements. Only a relatively small number of classes are electives, and these tend to be offered towards the end of the degree program, in the 3rd or 4th year. This usually coincides with the different itineraries or specialization tracks. For example, a history major may want to either specialize in ancient or modern history. To summarize, when beginning college, students start taking degree-related subjects from the very first semester and throughout the 4 years. They follow a specific study plan with very few electives and often have the same classmates throughout this whole period. Though rigid in structure, these degree programs are very complete and specialized. Now let's focus on the academic culture and the day-to-day experience at the university. Classes tend to be more lecture-based than participatory. Though some class participation is expected, the instructor will do most of the talking. The majority of professors do use PowerPoints and academic platforms such as Moodle to post notes, readings, and assignments, though you might encounter some old-school professors that still rely on the blackboard in class. Note-taking on the lectures will be key since it's a primary source of information. At the beginning, it'll be challenging, but students find that their Spanish peers tend to be very generous sharing their notes. Since class instruction is heavily based on notes, students usually do not need to purchase many books. Assignments often include group projects or presentations, as well as individual papers. You will note that on the syllabus, a large portion of the course grade is awarded to the final exam, and very little weight is assigned to class participation and homework. So do not expect to have as many assignments or readings as you would in the States, since the class will focus more on the notes and preparing you for the final exam. Overall, there's more emphasis on memorization and theory than on critical thinking. Grading is a bit different as well. It's based on a 1 to 10 scale, 10 being the highest score, and anything that is 5 or above is passing. Professors usually do not apply class curves, and there's not much grade inflation in Spain, so it's normal to see students receive a 5 or even fail a class. The professor-student relationship really depends on each individual professor, but usually there's not as many email exchanges between the two as there would be in the States, and it's up to the student to take the initiative in the communication. Most professors are open to having foreign students in their classes, especially thanks to the implementation of the Erasmus Student Exchange, a student mobility program among European countries. They know that you come from a different academic system and will help guide you on ways to supplement any academic gaps you might have so you can excel in class. Academic accommodations are given at the university if documented. However, they may not be the same ones offered to a student in the States. Campus life and extracurricular activities are different from the States as well. There are many clubs and cultural activities as well as sports offered. However, college sports do not have the same importance in Spain as in the States. The good news is that there are many intramural sports that students can join for the fun of playing and are not usually very competitive. Generally speaking, there is less pressure for students to join these university-organized activities. In part, it is because most students are commuters and do not feel the need to belong to the campus culture. Other students are more involved in events organized by their university dorms or by their specific schools. This could very well be one of the reasons why most students' identification with the alma mater is not as strong as in the States. This is manifested in the lack of interest for university merchandising such as t-shirts, or in the fact that alumni clubs are not nearly as active. So while the notion of university community does exist, it is a bit looser than back home. Most students socialize with their peers from their class groups. The school cafeteria is a popular place for both students and professors alike, and taking a morning coffee break is the norm. You'll rarely see university employees or professors take coffees to their desk, since the social aspect is very important in the Spanish culture. During the program orientation in Spain, you will learn more aspects of the academic system and how to embrace these differences during your semester abroad. And remember, learning to navigate the Spanish academic culture is, in addition to learning the language, one of the most valuable parts of the experience of being a direct matriculation student. You'll be challenged, but this will help you develop new skills and acquire more flexibility to adapt to new situations. You also learn to appreciate the differences, both abroad and back home. So we hope these tips will help you on your study abroad experience, and I urge you to see the remaining tutorials. And if you have more questions, please contact your OG advisor and review the different websites and resources posted.